But there was a discussion, again, as a consequence of the pandemic COVID situation, that there was in various countries, there's a lower birth rate being recorded. I actually thought it might have been the other way. I thought COVID might have encouraged more baby booming activity, but apparently not, according to this particular piece of analysis. I'm just going to get up on my screen here. By the way, we're going to give Sadie, I think we're going to put some links to this stuff in the in the YouTube.
All the articles we're talking about will be available in the description of this video once it's uploaded to YouTube.
So in this particular article, actually, yes, the US, the Wall Street, some Wall Street analysis from Morgan Stanley and HSBC. We're basically talking about this situation of a slump in births is going to have a negative impact to the economy, because in time there won't be as many younger people coming into the workplace. But it also, it does mention briefly, I believe, somewhere, that the global population, and again, we've talked about this, described as a global megatrend, is living longer, but also healthier and wanting to continue to contribute more in the workplace. And there's various reasons behind that, because people want to, because they enjoy the workplace, they enjoy that social engagement, but also people are having to work longer as well, to pay their own way in life because of the pension insecurities that have materialized over the last number of years, because of the stress on the state having to pay for people retiring. We're seeing retirement ages, standard retirement ages in different countries being pushed out. In the UK, it's now at 68, I think, for certain age groups. I think it's 67, 68, where it was, for women 60, for men 65, for, forever. Now it's being pushed out, and I'm sure that will keep being pushed out. But interesting that the lower birth rate is being used as a club almost to talk about the problems for younger people, whereas maybe it gives opportunity for employers to think more broadly about their recruitment market. Coming back to what McKinsey were talking about, they're saying employers are not looking at the older demographic. And and that was a US survey, I think. So they start counting people in the older category from 55 years old. Now, I just mentioned in the UK, the normal retirement age, I think that's what they call it, being 67. You've got 12-year gap just between those two metrics. So what about those people that sit there, it seems they're being overlooked for employment chances. That's what McKinsey say. And yet this other article that we will include the link to is saying that because there's not so many new babies, there might be less people to take up jobs, but actually there's probably people available to take those jobs now that aren't getting the opportunity. Sadie, you had an immediate thing I'd even thought about in terms of working mums, for example, or
Yeah, so if you don't have a child, you don't have to take maternity leave, and you don't have to go on family holidays, and you don't have to spend time with your kids, and there'll be, I don't know, maybe you don't have to, there's just less need to not work if you don't have a kid. So surely it would boost the economy because there are more people working, and it would just, people can be hired then.
Generally, women have children at a certain age, yeah. And generally, if we talk about that generally, that's generally certainly younger than 55, without dismissing the opportunities that, we read stories all the time about older women having, but if there's less babies being produced by younger women who, as you say, won't have those potentially responsibilities that make them take different choices depending on their situation, but who want to do both anyway, have a family but also work. But if they're not having those families, then they want to work, then surely that is an opportunity to have a job and for the economy to benefit from that availability.
Yeah, and I think also there's a whole other layer to that where even from a young age, women are always asked, when are you having kids? I mean, obviously not when you're like 6, but it's always been put, there's always women will have children. That's always the way it is. But with this, like women's rights and feminism and everyone just realizing that maybe there is more to a woman than just having children, that isn't their only responsibility, that maybe people are realizing they don't have to have children, they can follow a career path, they can do things that they want to do, not just that don't revolve around having kids. I think, new age of feminism.